Hey guys, so, this is Raines right back into gaming. I know it's been like a year, maybe over, but, here we go. Let's play of Analogue, A Hate Story. It's a visual novel. I believe it's Korean, which, surprise, surprise, right? Because it's me playing a Korean game. Anyway, so this is the intro, and, you know, I decided instead of letting it slowly just scroll along, I would just wait until it was all open. This is literally the first screen that it opens to when you open up the game, so you didn't miss anything. Okay, so, hey, guess what? I've got a job that you're going to love. Nice and easy. This is strictly a salvage mission. No crazy shit, I promise. One of those old pre-FTL generation ships from the 2000s, the Mugunghwa, which in Korean is, I believe the Korean flower, national flower, however the hell you pronounce that, just popped up on my radar. Its disappearance was apparently some big, unsolved mystery. Never made it to its destination. I guess it's just drifting lifelessly in orbit of Antares B. I'll send you the exact coordinates. It's pretty hard to get a visual on. Probably why nobody's found it before. The sponsor for this one is a historical society from the outer colonies. Here's what the objective card says. Download any log files you can, especially any that can explain what happened to the ship. If possible, speak to the security AI, Mute, or Mute, I don't know, for assistance. It's a good, easy gig, and I want you to take this one. It should be asocial enough for you. I don't want to hear any complaints. Dispatch control out. This game is perfect for me because it knows I hate people. Anyways, so yeah, all right. Skip intro, I guess. Unless, I mean, I don't know. Was there supposed to be more? Oh man. Anyway, I had played through this game, Analogue, see, Korean Analogue, A Hate Story, a little bit before, but, you know, see, I had gotten up to 19% unlocked. This was during when I think I first got it, and this was my save file synced up with Steam. I do believe that I don't remember much about it, except for the fact that certain things happen. So it should be good. Basically, this is me playing on my new computer. It's a new laptop. The old one was kind of dying, which is partly why I stopped recording. And I didn't think I'd be getting a new laptop anytime soon. I got it a lot sooner than I thought, and therefore I'm back to playing Let's Plays. As I said, the other one was dying. I literally couldn't play any games without it crashing, just burning. It was done. It overheated and then died after like an hour, maybe two. And that was just the game running. Like, I couldn't even try running the, what's it called? The recording programs. So, alright, yeah, so we have it windowed, full animation, English, only skip the scene stuff, let's see here, music effects, yeah, alright, so let's play a new game. Connection established. Alright, override terminal restricted mode. By the way, just so you guys know, this is technically the sequel to a game that I played on my own. It's called Digital A Love Story, which was adorable, but it was set in the past. This is set in the future. The Digital A Love Story was a very hacking kind of based game. I mean, you didn't actually do any real hacking, but basically you just searched around for what you had to do, etc., etc. So, this is pretty much a similar type of thing. Part of why I played Analogue was because I had just finished Digital and I really wanted to get more of that feel. If you guys want me to play Digital A Love Story, I can go back and play it for you guys, but that's only if you know, you want to see me play that. It is a really cute story, and I do suggest you guys play it. It will be in the description below. But anyway, continuing on. This is the override terminal restricted mode. Starship Mugunghwa internal computer. Property of Unified Korea Space Probe Agency. Accessed by individuals not affiliated with UKSPA or a successor organization is a felony under the UKSPA Act of 2381. So last login user was Kim Hyun-e. AI personality currently disabled, reverting to command lines. Alright, so I guess enable AI. Alright, enabled AI personality. Use to select a new AI personality. Any active personality must be disabled first. Currently available personalities are Hyune. Alright, so let's see. Download. Please use SU first. Okay, SU. Alright, let's try the help. Available commands up. Alright, thanks for reiterating something I already knew. Okay. Let me see here. I don't remember how to spell this. Alright guys, I'm going to be right back because I don't remember how you were supposed to spell it and what was in between or any of that nonsense, so I'll be right back. Okay, hey guys, I believe I sort of understand it now. So help SU password provides administrator access, requires password to use. Okay, so obviously we don't know what the password is. But let's see here. Enable AI. Come back here. Hyune. Personality Hyune is now activated. You may close this terminal with quit. Okay. Still don't know the password, but hey, we have to speak to this lady to find the password anyway. So, alright, she says, hello? Oh my word, an external connection? Is someone out there? It's been so many years since I've spoken to anyone. Oh geez, I'm being discourteous. My apologies. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hyune. The star is, of course, silent. It just I cannot speak. It just represents that I am an AI. I control all the log keeping systems on the Mugunghwa, or at least what's left of them. Please just excuse me for 1 second. I'll give you a terminal so you can respond. There you are. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Alright, so let's go with Raide. Oh, dear. Sorry, can you try that again? Ah, geez, my apologies. I don't know why, but what you just typed looked like garbage to me. That's bad. I think there may be a problem with my language parsing systems. Arg. Somehow your input is getting mangled between the terminal and me. I'm so terribly sorry. Let me just try something. Can you understand this? Yes. Alright. Can you just click again to confirm that you can understand what I'm saying to you? I do understand. Very well, we have that at least. I'm afraid if we can't get text input fixed, that'll have to suffice. I'm terribly sorry. It must be difficult being unable to say anything. This might be difficult then. Well, nevertheless, as the archive system AI, I'll do my best to try to help you navigate these records anyway. Unfortunately, it might be a little difficult since, well, without language parsing, you won't be able to do any text searches either. Don't worry though, it's my duty to provide assistance with archive functions. I'll do my best. Right, let me see. I'll try to provide you with a sampling of logs to start out with, and you can just show me things that that you want more information on. I hope that that'll be acceptable to you. That's all I can do. Well, that's all, I suppose. Pardon me, let me just build you an interface to work with so you don't have to struggle with a terminal. Very well, it's all set. And, I suppose this is a little bit awkward, but, can I just say one more thing before you get to work? Yes. I'm just very happy to be working with you. I've had nobody to talk to for such a long time. It got so lonely. She's so cute, isn't she? She's like, oh, I've been alone for so long. We were deserted out in space and all that junk. Alright, so having someone to talk to is just really amazing. Thought I would never be able to again. Sorry about the communication barrier, but even still. Jeez, I'm babbling. Won't hold you up any longer. Here's your interface. Hope it's good enough. Alright, so, here's like the real main, content. You don't really have any messages yet to read, but that does become a feature later. Here's all the unread messages, though I do believe this is part of, my previous load of sorts. So, anyway, let's see here, access log documents. There's all these logs, helpful notes. Let's start off with that. Notes on pronunciation, new, Hyune. So Hyune wrote this one, and some very simplified rules to help you pronounce Korean names. Most consonants are pronounced as in English, except for the following when they're at the beginning of words. Family names are written in their traditional English spellings. By the way, when this is like flashing blue, it means she wants to tell you something. She wants to talk to you. So car, may, pet, cut, or etc. This is just how you pronounce Korean with English, the English romanization. So let's see what she has to say about this. Even if there's an error stopping me from understanding the words you type, I can tell by the packet data header that you're using English. I have no idea how much you know about the Korean language, but I thought just in case you might want some help with how to pronounce names and such. I hope that's sufficient enough. And so yeah, basically she made this to be helpful and it's adorable. 남전 요비, men are honored, women are abased. And so if you can only remember one thing, remember this phrase. Let's see what she has to say about this. Really, that's just something you need to keep in mind when reading these logs. It was considered to be the natural way of things. Well, what do you think? And I'm gonna say, women being abased, especially in our generation, and if this is the future, that's gonna be even sillier, so that's stupid. I know, right? By the way, from what I can tell, I think she's kind of very heavily feminist-like and all that jazz, so, let's try to make her happy, because she's adorable when she's happy. Alright, just absolutely terrible and stupid, but that was normal. So try to keep that in mind. That's what everyone really did believe, even nearly all of the women. And if that sounds terrible to you, well, you must come from an awfully nicer society. And let's go down. More of her talking. She just does not... she's just talkative. But anyway, let's see what she has to say about this family tree. Oh, hello. Actually, I was just testing that indicator icon to see if it'd get your attention. I just thought it'd be a good way of letting you know when I have something to say. I mean, like, if I think it's super important, I can always just interrupt you, but don't want to distract you if I can help it. I mean, that'd suck, right? What kind of computer program forces herself onto you right in the middle of you trying to work? So I'll try not to do that. Anyway, that's all. I guess it worked. Carry on. I'll set the indicator again if I need to tell you something. Which we already knew because we've been doing that. But anyway, that's the, I believe that's the last of that page. So, see? Oh, never mind. What? Hang on. Okay, yeah. So, each little segment, can have multiple pages, and I was being a dummy about that. You can... even if it's not blinking here, she, eventually does talk to you and you can have that option of going over and talking to her. But, yeah, so here's all the different things. As she was saying, the women don't really ever get a name. So I believe that's, you know, the women here. They're just known by their last names. And these are the different days and who they were married to, etc., etc. These are generally important, but you don't really actually understand anything. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, where there's a bunch of names and you don't see how they all fit together yet. Official genealogies don't list women normally. Wives are noted by their family names. Daughters are omitted entirely. Which is why, back here, the ones with, like, even somewhat of a name, those are the mothers, and then the daughters are basically just like, blah, nothing. Anyways, so let's see here. These are the relevant parts of what I was able to piece together from records as far as the official genealogy is concerned. Youngsok is the heir of Cheongsu and was adopted in 3817. Names in red are women. Blank means the name is forever unknown. So let's see what she has to say. That's the end of the Kim family tree as best as I could possibly manage to compile it. I'm afraid it's the best I could do. Ordinarily, women's names aren't ever put on genealogy, so I had trouble with those. I hope that helps you keep track of the family, though. And it does help, so we can always refer to that later. Let's see here. Yeah, so I mean that's that. Okay, and then there's these blocks. I guess we'll start off with four data blocks. This is Smith Kyung-sam. I don't believe we know who that is. Here, let me check real quick. Yeah, so it doesn't really say who it is, so it's not part of the Kim family tree. So let's go back to block 4 and a pack of idiots. Smith Kyung-sam. When our family falls into decline, I just want it to be perfectly clear why. It's because Dae-hyun's sons are the biggest collection of idiots on the entire ship. Father says these sorts of words shouldn't be written down, calling them unfilial. But I'm skeptical. I intend no disrespect to my noble ancestors, but my dead uncle is no ancestor of mine, and his family deserves no respect. This has been in motion for years now. It was an inevitability, even that any sins of Dae-hyun would turn out the way they did. But up until now, to anyone outside of the family, it's been well hidden. Only now is it starting to fall apart in a way that no amount of good politics can disguise. The turning point was this year. At the time I write this, I am returning to Sang-jung's funeral. In that time, there were 3 brothers, Sang-jung, the drunk, Sang-kyu, the dim-witted brute, and Sang-min, who despite being the eldest, seems to have more interest in cavorting with courtesans than creating an heir. So basically, Sang-min's the player, Sang-kyu is, you know, the jock, the stereotypical dumb jock, the really all bronze, no brains, and Sang-jung is the alcoholic. In a way, I guess that kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones again, but anyway. So, noticeably absent from the morning proceedings was Sang-kyu, aka the Brute. What was he doing? I do not know. Knowing him, I can only guess. The affair was made even more laughable by Sang-min. Sang-min was... yes, the player. Sang-min, and his widowed mother's insistence that Sang-jung, aka the drunk, that Sang-jung, the drunk, had died of natural causes. Apparently, they had even found a doctor willing to put such nonsense on the official record. An unmarried noble managing to drink his way into the grave at only 30 years of age would be embarrassing enough. To brazenly try to hide the obvious, however, that will mark the beginning of the Smith family's fall. So let's see what she has to say about them, the Smith family. So here's the background, I suppose. There were two major noble families on the Mugunghwa. The Kims were the big one, as I'm sure you can see, which we know about the Kim family line, the family tree. And then the Smiths were the other major family. So, I mean, there's two alpha dogs on the ship, I guess. But I'm afraid I can't tell you very much about them. They were the most important family on the ship until just before the end. The High Magistrate was a Smith until the very last year, even. I can give you a little bit about them for reference so you can see who the Kim men thought their big enemy was. The Smiths didn't really matter very much at the end, so I can't... Well, I don't know much about them. I certainly never met any of them, so I'm just going off what I've read. Here, this should give you an idea of what I mean. And there we go. She gives us more, material, I believe. So, yeah. So, block 4, as we'll see here now, she puts in a couple of new things. Contempt, by example, here comes a fall. This is block 6. This is block 4. Block 6 is Dear Smith. Block 9 is The New Heir. Block 9. Block 10, Marital Admonitions. Admonitions, part 7. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I guess there's gonna be at least 6 more marital admonitions and then something else. And then, yeah. So, for the rest of this episode, we're just gonna finish off block 4, and then, or at least, these that we have here so far. And, we'll just keep going with Smith Kyung's Han. So, by example, I've given up on any attempts at convincing the main branch family to get their act together, so, as clearly speaking, reason to any of that pack of idiots is a fool's errand. Now, I can only hope that their self-destruction is quick, such that when it's my son's turn to pick up the pieces of the Smith name's reputation, he will be able to do it as soon as possible. He seems far less worried about it than I am. Of course, he is only a child, but the boy is mature for his years, and perhaps there is wisdom in his calmness. All we have to do is to be better than them, right? He asked me while I was in a rage about handling the funeral. Isn't that what gentlemen do? Lead by example? He is right, of course. As a noble family, we're supposed to be an example to the middle classes, and the commoners, and the slaves. Perhaps so, too, must we serve as an example to the family of the High Magistrate and his brother. Perhaps things will not be so doomed for my son after all. It will be hard for him, of course, if the main branch family continues on this path of decay. But if any boy will grow up to be able to put things right, I believe it is him. Now let's see what Kyane wants to say. Sorry, I don't really think there's anything else about them you find relevant. Alright, she doesn't have much else to offer us there. And we'll continue, as I said, with Smith Kyung-han, and then we'll go to Oh So-jin, which is really So-jin, and then last name Oh. So, Kyung-san, here comes the fall. At least nobody's going to say I didn't see this coming. News that Sang-min has finally gotten sacked just came in, which is... Sang-min, by the way, is, I believe, the eldest player. Sang-jung, I believe, was the drunk. So anyway, Sang-min has gotten sacked. News that Sang-min has gotten sacked just came in, which is definitely the death of any respectability in this family. Temporary leave, it's been described as, but it's obviously a political move on the part of the emperor. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what he's playing at, too. He's hoping that making a move against Sang-min will push him over the edge, make him do something indefensibly stupid, and use that as an excuse to shuffle him off for good. It's a good plan. It'll work. Meanwhile, the Kim family seems to be up on the rise, getting ready to fill the gaps left by our collapse. Now, it's all up to my son. If he's not able to rebuild after all of this, then the whole family is doomed to permanent decline. Everything rides on him. Thanks for putting all the pressure on your poor little son. But anyway, so we're gonna go up, and we're gonna read Contempt by Oh So-jin. Or Oh So-jin. I need to emphasize Korean better when I read it in English, but anyway. Despite having hardly shown their faces in the entire time I've lived in the Smith house, the second branch of the family has taken it upon themselves to visit again, a week after we were forced to endure their smug eye-rolling at the funeral. Of course, it would be impolite to turn them all away at the door, no matter how poor taste their timing was. So what other choice did we have but to let them in? Husband wanted to have nothing to do with them being distracted by Changmi, and mother-in-law had been hiding in her room, allowing me to entertain them. Of course, as soon as I had sent their son to go see our daughter, cousin-in-law Kyung-sam made it quite clear that it was not that sort of visit. His wife just sat there, silent, while he ripped into me. I couldn't write down all his words. It was simply one line of abuse after another. Apparently we were to be blamed for Sang-kyu, the group, leaving before they showed up, for wearing the wrong mourning garb, for my husband's shocked reaction at his brother's death. In fact, we were to be blamed for his death itself. All he kept shouting was how embarrassing for the family it was that a nobleman of the Smith house had been allowed to drink himself to death. So yes, Sang-kyu, Sang-kyu is the drunk, and then Sang-chong? I don't know, I need to review that. But anyway, you guys probably know in your gut, you're all thinking, good God, how can you not even keep 3 names straight? Remember, I'm atrocious with names. As if the real tragedy was that it looked bad, I might not have felt bad about Sang-jung dying. Wait, what? We had to be blamed for Sang-kyu leaving before they showed up. Oh, so Sang-kyu's still alive and he's wearing the wrong mourning garb, and so they were being blamed for that. And then this main character, Sojin's husband, her husband's brother died, and then Sojin and her husband were being blamed for Sojin's husband's brother's death. Okay, and then Sojin's husband's brother is Sang-jung. So Sang-jung died. I might not have felt bad about Sang-jung dying, but the rest of the family did. To hear such words making light of their loss was appalling. Yet he kept going, shouting awful things after awful things. Until finally the most unexpected thing happened. Mother-in-law entered the room. What is going on here, she asked. He stood up. I was just passing on a message to son's wife about his disgraceful conduct. So, wait, what? The guy who's, like, nailing into her is her husband. So Sojin's husband is the son of the guy who's nailing into her. So he's like my son's wife, Sojin. I was just passing on a message to son's wife about his disgraceful conduct since he won't show his face himself. Then he added, I'm embarrassed to be a Smith right now. Do you think people don't know about our family's shame? Do you have any idea how much of a fool I look like? I never saw a more terrifying expression in someone's face. She just glared at him. Finally she said, yes, but you clearly do not, or you would not have lowered your voice. Or you would have lowered your voice. It took him a moment for that to register. Then he was just as shocked. The mother-in-law wasn't done. Please leave, she said. Now. They stared at each other for a good while. And by the way, one of the reasons why this character, Sojin, is so shocked that her mother-in-law is not only, coming in and defending her, is because in the Korean tradition, mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws have a terrible relationship. They usually hate each other's guts, and I don't know why for the life of me, because, it's like, okay, just because you are the daughter-in-law, I just biasedly hate you. It's a really weird concept. I don't quite understand it, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's kind of like how, in Game of Thrones, Cersei hated what's-her-face? I'm obviously not going to say what's-her-face because everyone who's watched it knows who I'm talking about. Husband of the wife of Joffrey. but, for people who haven't watched Game of Thrones, I don't want to be all spoiler about it. So anyway, let me see here. They stared at each other for a good long while. Mother-in-law naturally won, and with a scowl, Kyung-sam and his family departed. When they had left, I turned to her. "Thank you," I said, but she shook her head in disgust and exited her own room, without another word. So yes, as I said, mother-in-laws, daughter-in-laws do not get along. She said thank you, but it's very clear it's not about her that the mother-in-law, it's not so much that the mother-in-law came to her defense. It was more that she thought the other guy's behavior was just really shameful and wanted him to shut up and stop. And so she's still like, no, I still hate you, Sojin, but, like, don't talk to me. And it's very amateurish. It's very childish. But anyway. So, yeah, that's all of Block 4. And next time when we come back, we'll hit up Block 6, I guess. Block 9, Block 10, depending on if it gets added more or not, like this time did. But all in all, lots of things happened. As I said, there's like Dear Smith, these are all like the other ones. These are the new ones that we haven't read yet. And here's the override terminal. I don't believe we can actually use this yet, so let me just quit out of that again. And then let's speak with Hyune. One last time before we go. If you look in your interface, once you open a document, you can click on that little button of me to show whatever it is. So, which subject do you wish to know more about? Alright, yeah. And we'll just save it here. 4% unlocked, and yeah, I guess I will see you guys next time on Analogue, A Hate Story, Part 2. Bye!